All right, welcome back to another Mobility Monday. This week we are going to tie some things together over the last couple weeks. So, the past couple weeks have been kind of a recap of some pelvic tilts, some core activation, some spinal stability type stuff. And it's really important to grasp the big concept with the control of our core, control of our low back, because that's really the foundation for the rest of our spine. So, today what we're going to do is we're just going to go through a little TLC restoration flow for our spine. We're going to start with our head. We're going to talk about our T-spine. We're going to talk about our low back, and really just kind of keep this as just, if I have 5 to 6 minutes in the morning of what I should be doing to keep my spine moving, this is kind of the goal for today. So let's jump into this and get rolling, and we'll get started. All right, so we've talked about cervical carves, primarily from the seated position. But we're going to start from a quadruped position. So you can see here I'm on the floor, and think about, you could do this anywhere. So this is something you could be doing basically every day in order to keep your spine moving. So just like we do in the cervical carves, we're going to think about moving our head independent of the rest of our spine and really just try to get the movement happening up top. So the way this is going to start is we are going to do 5 repetitions each side. We're going to start by tucking our chin down, nice and slow. And then we're going to rotate to one side. We're going to lean our ear back over the shoulder. We're going to rotate to the other side. Nice and slow back to the beginning. And then we're going to go the opposite direction. Going to pick that head up, rotate around, back to the beginning position. And we're just going to roll nice and smooth. Take your time. Again, feeling for any stiffness, any tightness. If you struggle to do these cervical carves in the seated position, this is a better position for you to be doing it in. Your body loves to have a lot of stability when moving your neck, and if you lack stability, if you've ever been in a car accident or you've ever had a concussion, and you just struggle with your neck, spending time going through and just owning this movement in this position will give you more control over your spine than it's likely you've ever had before, and it'll help with that stiffness, it will help with that control, and it'll help with that apprehension that you feel that you really just don't want to move your neck in certain directions. Cool, so now that we've gone through and warmed up our neck, now we're going to move down into our thoracic spine. So just like we do with our pelvic tilts and our low back, we're going to think like cat-cows, cat-camels in our upper back. And we're going to start by thinking about pushing our shoulder blades and our mid-back as high as we can go, flexing our head down, flexing our whole spine, and then extending our back, squeezing and extending our thoracic spine. And we're going to go through and we're just going to give this 10 reps. Set your own pace when you really feel like you're pushing through that thoracic spine and extending your whole spine backwards in the other direction. Again, we're trying to move your thoracic spine through this flexion extension. We're going to finish with a little thoracic spine rotation here in a couple minutes. Got 3 more of these. Just getting some movement in there. This one always feels good if you've been sitting at a desk all day. Just struggle to just extend your spine and just move it a little bit. Cool. So now that we've gone through our thoracic spine, now we're going to do our low back. So just like we've done in the videos the past couple days, we're going to think about pelvic tilting, just extending that low back, flexing that low back, getting that movement to happen just down low at the bottom. And we're going to do this 10 times. And with each one, I want you just to think, feel the end of that range of motion. Are you going all the way into flexion? Are you going all the way into extension? Paying attention to any stiffness, any tightness. Is one side doing more than the other? And we're just flowing back and forth. And again, this is just getting your whole spine to move. The better your spine moves, the better everything else is going to move too. 3 more of these. Good. Last one here. Now, one of my favorites from here is actually to think like you're wagging your tail like a dog here. You're gonna think about rotating your hips to one side, squeezing your core and your abs through these obliques on the left. Think about rotating this hip forward, and then we're gonna go back to the right. We're just gonna roll these hips back and forth, getting some lateral movement into our low back. Just making everything rotate just a little bit. And we're gonna do 5 to each side here. Again, just trying to wake up the spine. Cool, last one here. Perfect. So now we've gone through our neck, our mid back, and our low back. We've hit the rotation in our low back, we've hit the flexion in our low back. Now we're just gonna do some thoracic cars, just some general movement in our mid back. So we're gonna start by giving ourselves a little hug here. We're gonna flex down into the mid back, and we're gonna rotate. And we're gonna bend. We're gonna extend that spine, and we're gonna roll around. We're gonna rotate to the side, extend that up, back around. Perfect. And we're doing 5 to each side here. And again, you might feel some clicks and pops, totally normal. I want you just going nice and slow, just controlling this movement, making sure you're getting your whole spine involved here. Got 2 more to each side here. Again, this is a mid-back focus. We're trying to keep most of the movement happening in that mid-back, primarily that rotation. Again, use your breathing if you feel like you're going too fast or too slow. You don't want to get your heart rate up here. You're more thinking about just a nice, smooth pace that you can maintain and have a conversation at. I'm gonna do one more here because I'm just feeling a little tight after today's work. Very cool. So that's a little routine with some spinal hygiene, if you will, looking at your neck, your mid-back, your low back, even your hips a little bit, and just generally putting some movement into your spine. It's a great way to either get your day going or end your day. Something you think about after you're done either eating dinner or something like that, you're getting ready for bed. This is a great time to just move your body a little bit and just put some movement in there to help keep everything flowing, keep everything moving, so that we never stop and we keep moving forward. So with that, happy Mobility Monday. We'll see you next week.